How's it going, everybody? Today we are here. We're going to introduce new people that are here on YouTube. We've got Jeremy and Jeenie Weenie and then Jeff Bradford from Beer, Wine, and Spirits. And I'm really honored to have you guys here today. My name is Bert. I come from the channel Food X Bert, and I've been traveling and living in China for the past 10 years. And I like to introduce really interesting foods and just new things to people and, cultures and everything. And this channel is kind of about, mostly travel. And since we're in quarantine, I can't really travel too much. But fortunately, I've got you guys and I've got this app, YouTube, to do streamings with you guys. So anyways, that's me, Food Expert. Do you want to go, Jeenie Weenie?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Jeenie Weenie. I'm actually here from TikTok. And I pretty much create content in regards to everything cabin crew. I was cabin crew for 3 years. This was about 10 years ago. And now, because travel is halted for everybody, I try to lighten the mood, create positive content based on all things travel. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then we got Jeff Bradford.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? My name is Jeff Bradford. So what do I do? In late 2017, I retired from the U.S. Army, was figuring out what I want to be when I grow up, and I decided to get into the life of beer, wine, and spirits. So I sold everything that I own, and now I travel around the world to tell the stories of brewers, winemakers, and distillers. And in return, I tell their story and share it with you guys. So that's what I do. I love doing it. I learn by doing, and I hope to share with everybody around the world how tequila's made, how vodka's made, how beer from this country and this country is made, and all that good stuff. So I'm honored to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
And Jeremy, what about you? Tell us about your story and your YouTube channel and what inspired you to start your channel.
Absolutely. I mostly do stuff on Instagram. My Instagram is Jeremy Talks to Strangers. I also do YouTube Jeremy Talks to Strangers. And my story is I had severe social anxiety. I couldn't go up to anyone, and I had a challenging time. So my goal was to snap out of it. And the way I did that was doing exposure therapy, and what that means is I was doing free hugs around the world. I've done interviewed celebrities on the red carpet as like a means to snap out of it, and then traveling was a big one as far as talking to strangers, and then now I do a lot of self-improvement content. I have a mental health podcast, and then I was doing a challenge since I was living in Asia. I flew home and I was like, all right, I can't travel physically, but I can travel remotely and virtually. So I actually took on a challenge of talking to someone in every country in the world over video chat. And from there, I started a global community, which Bert has been to some of the events, called Join Team Human. And we've had over 15 countries represented at these events. And it's been pretty amazing. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's great. It's great to have all of you guys today. And today I've got some questions for you guys, and we're going to just kind of have a free talk about travel and kind of the things we miss about 2019, honestly. I definitely miss traveling for sure. Jeenie Weenie, when were you a flight attendant?
Oh, that was back in 2010. I quit. I actually quit in 2010.
Oh, wow.
It's wild that I'm creating content based on cabin crew because lots have changed, right? But yeah, I mean, it's so wild. I have crew of friends who are still crew, and a lot of them especially are grounded right now. A lot of them are getting laid off. It's very, very sad. And I've flown during COVID, and it was super scary. It was actually very scary. It's still pretty packed. And I mean, they're limiting flights right now. So we're packed in there. And right after my flight, the next day a couple of days later, the same flight on my same row, someone had COVID the next day. So they were quarantining everybody. I was just like, oh, that was a close call. So traveling Guys, it's so scary. It's really
That's
scary.
good that they do contact tracing like that, because here in America, I don't think they're doing the contact tracing that seriously. But yeah, it's just crazy. And Jeff, I was wondering, when were you in the military? Actually, you were in the military for like 4 or 5 years or longer.
I was in a lot longer, man. You're gonna expose my true age. So I actually retired from the military back in late 2017. So yeah, yeah, it's been it was one of those things where it was like when I got out of the army, it was like, what do I want to be when I grow up? And I wrote a list of passions down, and obviously end up doing beer, wine, and spirits. So.
I actually found your channel originally because I was very interested in focusing more on the beer content and the drinks content around the world. And that's what I originally wanted to get into. And I found your channel. I was like, your first 2,000 subscribers, and I hit you up back then even.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're at 56,000 subscribers, which is just
Sweet.
You grow. Yeah. I mean, and so like it made me I do want to still do like beer and other kind of stuff, and that's why I'm kind of starting this right now. I just want to get more into, some of the things that I really felt passionate about when I first started YouTube, like going around trying different beverages, like this rum or this in the Balkan region they've got all those different Rockies and really amazing drinks. And I really wanted to show the world these different things. And but like, of course, I've focused more on food and travel and other things like that on my channel. But I do still want to get more into your stuff, like what you do more.
Yeah, and Bert, by the way, what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, I think we can all learn from what you're doing. And even if you even get into the spirits, beer, alcohol from Asia or wherever you're traveling, like I'm tuning into that, right? I'm saying, what is this guy doing? What is this guy getting into? That's pretty interesting. And you might shed some light on some stories that maybe I want to tell in the future. So much respect for what you're doing, my friend.
Yeah, I just love to travel, and I'm going to be going to Albania in a couple weeks, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah. Oh, Jeenie, I had one question for you. What is your favorite place to travel to, like your favorite layover place when you were cabin crew?
My favorite layover place.
For a trip, like, Korea, or if it was like Japan, Tokyo.
Oh, they were all, I loved every place. They're all so different, but one of my faves that I didn't really know about was actually Mauritius.
Whoa.
Got to Mauritius. It is.
Where's that?
I know.
Right next to Madagascar. It's very close to Madagascar.
Am I the only one drinking, guys?
I'm drinking right here. I've got this. I was going to talk about this amazing beer right here. We got the Tikki Escape Ipa, which has got a coconut flavor with a little bit of a pineapple notes to it. It's a good one. Have you guys had this one before?
Never.
What about you, Jeff?
I have, dude. I'm a big Stone fan, and obviously from the West Coast. So yeah, definitely tried it. Yeah,
no, it's a really good one. Jeenie, did you have to finish what your favorite layover was?
No, yeah,
sorry.
Can I ask Jeenie Weenie a question?
Yeah.
I'm curious, like the content on her channel and like what her mission with it is. Like, what is something she wants to shed light on more on her channel?
So before, actually, I started off just sharing content about the job, the role of cabin crew, what we go through, and our point of view, because a lot of people don't understand our role, that we're just servers in the sky and just fly around. It must be a glamorous job, where there are amazing benefits to it, of course, but it's rough. It's a really tough job. The training is crazy. People don't last very long in this role. So that was my initial goal. And then after some time, obviously, I'm not cabin crew anymore. I've run out of stories and things like that. So now I do a lot of collaborations with people around the world. And that's what I want to do. I want to unite different cultures and countries and learn about it. So right now, a thing about
that's my mission.
Yeah. So I'm making friends with a lot of Aussies right now. and they're telling me a lot of stories about Australia, their culture, language, things like that. And then we create content together based on it. So we do TikToks based on that, and it's been really fun. So that's kind of where I'm headed right now. But I mean, TikTok, it changes all the time. So yeah.
I love the collaboration you did with that one girl that's like, hello, my friend. the girl, Vietnamese girl.
Yeah, Linda. Oh my goodness.
She's so fun.
She's so funny. She's so funny. So yeah, she was like, hey, can we do something? Can I be a passenger? I was like, yes. Please be a passenger. So we collaborated together on that. And that was a blast for sure.
Yeah, she got to like 1.2 or 1.3 million subscribers. Really fast. She just did this thing where she did this comedy thing, like reviewing videos and starting out like, hello, my friend, he is gonna be really feeling that later, or something like some tagline that was very Western, but she did it in a Vietnamese accent, a broken Vietnamese accent. And it was just so funny how she puts it all together, and every time it makes you laugh. I mean, if you're having a bad day, just watch her TikTok videos. It's gonna be awesome.
She's actually super famous on YouTube.
Yeah.
1 million followers on YouTube and things like that. And she's created a new channel, and she's blowing up on IG and stuff. So she's doing really well for herself. Yeah.
Yeah, she does really funny, long YouTube videos too, not just TikTok videos. And it's not even, she doesn't do the accent for the YouTube videos. She does her own thing. You know, it's normally comedy, but it could be a food review. It could be a like how to make pho, or it could be something else. It's just a lot of fun. And what about Jeff? What was the hardest place you've ever been to traveling wise? Like out of all the countries you've been to, Jeff, I'm sure you've been to a lot of places. What was the toughest place you've been to?
Yeah, it's I would say when you get into France and anything that borders France, I don't speak French too well, and it was very difficult for me to, when I was there, to just, I'm trying to speak it, and I'm like, okay, there's trying to understand it, and it was just very difficult for me. So when I was in France, it was the toughest, to say the least, out of the current countries that I've been to.
Yeah, French is just, there's sometimes a little bit on the snooty side, I'd say. I mean, lots of French people are really nice, especially in the southern part of France, but typically they're a little bit on the snooty end of life, and they don't like foreigners coming to their country, no matter if they're making a show or doing some videos. But yeah, it's...
Look, Bert, I mean, when you go into other countries, you expect, you're an English-speaking person, right? And you're like, okay, as long as I know a little bit of the language, maybe they might know a little bit of English, and you can go ahead and work on that. But when I was in France, I was like, man, they would not budge, and I was just like, okay, I don't know enough, I can't parlay enough, so it was very difficult, especially when I was up telling the story of absinthe. In the Val de Travers, and that's on the border of Switzerland and France, but they speak French there. So
where exactly was this?
This was on the border of France and Switzerland.
I know, what city?
In the Val de Travers, it's in the mountain region where they make absinthe. Yeah. So I remember when I was there, I was trying to understanding how to make it, and the history, and there was not a lot of people that spoke English, and I just didn't speak enough French to be able to articulate the message well enough, and that's been the most difficult, I think, for challenge. But other than that, I think, I don't know, when I travel around the world, I think English is spoken predominantly all over, and you can meet quite a lot of people that speak it, that can articulate it, especially in the industry that I work in. But when I hit France, it was just like, man, I gotta figure a couple things out, because we're not getting the message, and this video is not coming out the way I want it to, because nobody's able to translate the overall message in that.
That makes sense.
I want to kind of respond to this Travel Eats comment. He said, I speak French Canadian, but in France, they speak to me in English because I didn't speak real French. And for me, what comes up right away is because it's honestly fear of the unknown, fear of difference. And I think it's something that's fascinating within. I study psychology and why people act the way they do. So sorry you went through that, but it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll tell you a funny story, actually. So I worked in NATO when I was in the military, and I'm sitting at a table with, I got 2 French guys on this end and 2 Canadians on the other end, and they're all speaking French. Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm an English guy. I'm like, okay, cool. And the French guy taps me on the shoulder, and he says, "Hey, do you know what these Canadians are talking about? By the way, they're speaking French." And they tapped me on the shoulder. Do you know what they're talking about? I said, I don't know. They're speaking French. And then the French guys looked at me and said, we don't know either. So that goes in, that tells you the difference between the French that's spoken in Canada as opposed to France. So
That's so different. Like, I know in Vancouver, you guys don't speak French typically, Jeenie Weenie, right? In Vancouver, you guys don't learn French as a second language, correct?
You have to learn French in elementary, and then in high school you get a choice. But please don't quiz me. I don't remember. Bonjour, comment ça va? That's pretty much it, and it's right there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's what I got, Jeenie. That's what I got too. So I'm with you.
Jeenie, what is your drink of choice? If you are to drink ever, if you do drink, what is your favorite drink?
So whenever I just if I go to a restaurant, I just want to drink, I always just get their old fashioned. That's just my drink, my go-to drink.
Yeah, old fashioned is great because it really shows the quality of a place because it's just OG classic for sure.
Yeah. So that's my go-to drink. Oh.
Yeah.
Are you showing it? You're showing an old one.
No, I'm just showing different. Yeah, Jeremy's also in charge of the comment section, apparently.
I didn't do that.
Oh, you did it.
I didn't do that.
Are the comments?
We just select the comments that we want to show. I would love to show all the comments, honestly.
Hold on, we have a question.
This is
from
my
Dancing Papaya. I'm curious about cabin crew. How do you become cabin crew?
How do you become cabin crew? So coming up with the YouTube right now, I've been working on it for like a month because I don't know what I'm doing. It's so hard. And I don't have a green screen, which is what I usually work with on TikTok. So I filmed it and I'm like, this is so lame. It's so terrible. But anyways, it's coming soon. And it's literally me reenacting like the exact interview process for Emirates Airlines, what I had to go through, because the process is crazy. I've never experienced anything like this. It was just it was a very, very difficult interview, and I believe every single airline, that the stories that I've heard are pretty similar. They're very, very strict. But if you actually check on every airline's career page, they all have one. You will see the requirements and the process. So everyone always asks, like, how do I know? I can't tell you each airline. I only know Emirates, but that's your guide. So just check the career page.
Yeah, no, that's definitely good. I also wanted to try to do like flight attendant school also, but it's just, I decided to move to China instead and work there for, the 8 years. But I really was thinking about doing cabin crew, and it would have been really fun.
So can I tell you guys something about the travel, what is it, the flight attendant schools? So everyone always asks, I'm going to enroll. It's going to be like, I don't know how much you guys pay for it, $5,000 or something. I don't know. But I really don't think you need it. Like, I became cabin crew without any experience. Okay. And every single person that I talk to, you don't need the schooling, not to bash any of the schools or anything like that. If it's only great if maybe you are unsure if that job is for you. So if you want to go through it and be like, okay, so this is what the job is like, this is what I have to know, that's great. But in all honesty, every single airline has their own training program. So regardless of what you learned in training school, it's not going to be applicable to the airline that you're going to be working with. Plus, you still have to go through their program, which will be five weeks to 2 months. So do you really want to spend money learning and then relearning? I don't know. That's your call. But I would probably say save your money and gain experience elsewhere, because airlines are looking for the customer service experience. So rather you can get experience working at a hotel or even restaurant, because we are serving in the air as well. They are looking for that. And during your interview, they are going to ask you for your experience with customers. They're going to ask you, they're going to put you through scenarios, and you're going to have to know how to answer it. So if you have no experience, you're not going to know how to answer it. And all the passengers, the things that you deal with up in the air, it's crazy. Like the stories that I tell you on my TikTok, those are true stories. Like people peeing on you, people throwing it to you, people, doing the number on top of the toilet when the lid is closed. Like it's just ridiculous. Okay.
Hold on. I have a follow-up question. How do you maintain sanity when that is going on as a cabin crew? Because I've always thought about this. I always think, because in my observation, they always, hi, how's it going? How can I serve you? They always have to be happy. There has to be a way to process the stuff that they go through. Like, how do you do that?
Alcoholics, right? We do like to drink a lot together right after a flight. The crew get together and we just have a nice drink to unwind.
So there's not a healthy way to process it.
Oh, it's not healthy whatsoever. And that's some of the crew, they do crack. You see it on the news where they'll just kind of lose it and do random things. That's because they keep it all in, because there's a lot of things that happen up there. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not all about, hey, I get to travel the world and it's all good.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
By the way, Daphne says, Jeenie, just want to say thank you for all your TikTok videos, for all the laughs. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Daphne. That's so sweet. Thank you.
And I've got a shout out too. Jerry, my friend, is about to have a baby. He can't join us today. He's got a channel called This Is China, and he covers all this stuff about China, and he's a really fun guy, and I'm going to have him on a live stream very soon after he has his baby. But yeah, Jerry is a great guy, and he's here watching us right now.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Congrats.
He's from South Africa, but he lives in Qingdao, and I want to show you guys what people drink in Qingdao. They drink beer from a bag, and Jerry will tell you all about it. It's pretty fun. Sandra, have you been to most of China, or just Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong?
I've been to Beijing. I've been to Shanghai. I've been to Guangzhou, Shenzhen. I don't really know. Yeah, I've been to somewhere. Macau. I've been to Macau on my own.
Wow.
So you speak English and a little bit of French. And do you have a third language to make it on? Oh, speak.
Plus, I grade myself C+ on Korean.
Korean.
The Korean I know is just from like my mom and basic Korean school that I was forced to go into. But I mean, it's not the greatest. Like I can go to Korea and order food.
Yeah, like.
So that's all you really need, right? Order some drinks and stuff. Anything else, like conversation-wise, or if I have to watch like K-drama, I have to have the subtitles. So,
oh my gosh.
I need subtitles. I don't understand.
My favorite Korean dish is kimchi jjigae. Kimchi jjigae, Korean, so good. The kimchi soup, that's amazing.
I made kimchi recently, actually. I went to the Korean market and I made kimchi. It was so good.
Wait, you make kimchi from scratch?
Yeah.
You know that's like super difficult to do. Very, very difficult. Like
I learned how to do it on YouTube University.
Wow. Oh wow.
Did you get a certificate?
Not yet. I'm waiting in the mail.
Oh, you didn't try it.
But I was have you the TV show Everybody Feed Phil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw like the South Korean episode. I'm like, I need to go there because I was all over Asia and I'm back in the United States. I'm like, where should I go next? Maybe South Korea.
Oh, you will love it. You'll love their barbecues. Although they say LA, they have better Korean barbecue than they do in Korea.
No, yeah, Koreatown actually has the largest Korean population anywhere outside of South Korea.
Oh. It's pretty crazy because I spent half my time in LA anyways, and it's true because I've had Korean barbecue in Korea and in LA. LA is better. It is better. The only one that's better in Korea is their pork belly barbecue.
Mm.
But when it comes to the kalbi and stuff, no, LA.
Oof. LA.
Yeah.
So
I was wondering, Jeff, have you ever been to Asia before, or have you still not made it out there?
That is the uncharted territory for me.
Jeff, you would love it.
Oh, you would be
Yeah.
a celebrity in Asia.
Guys, I'm getting hit up left and right now on my channel, like on the comments, on like when I'm making tequila or where I'm making this or that. They're like, come here, tell this story. So, everything, I'm taking it all in, and I need to get out there soon. I can see that.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of things to cover in China, especially with the baijiu. I know baijiu doesn't taste good, typically the normal generic one, but they've got some really high-end baijius that taste really good. And there's also craft breweries that you should definitely check out in China. So it's just up. Yeah.
I have a question for.
Go
ahead.
That bag, the beer bag. What is that?
Yeah, what's a beer bag? Like what?
I haven't seen that.
Never heard of
Well,
that.
next week we'll cover that next week because Jerry will be here. He knows all about the beer in a bag in Qingdao. You go down the street in a beer in a bag and you fill it up with a keg, and it's like 5 kwai, which is like almost $1 to fill up your bag of beer. And it could even be less than $1. It could be 50 cents, like 3 kwai. And you just fill up your bag with beer, you get your straw, and you're walking down the street in Qingdao with a beer in a bag. That is what you do there.
What's the percentage?
Normally a beer in China is typically 3.6% to 4.2%, and it could be up to 5% if it's a craft beer that they make in China. It just really depends.
Really, it's not much.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. They've got one beer called snow beer. So Shui Hua Pijiu is what it's called in Chinese. And that beer is super weak. It's only 2.5% alcohol.
Whoa.
And that is the cheapest beer in the world. And it's actually the #1 selling beer in the world too. More than Budweiser, because it is sold all around China. It doesn't even sell outside of China, but it's the #1 cheap beer for Chinese people to have. And it actually tastes good. It's refreshing. It's good for a hot summer day, but it is 2.5% alcohol as opposed to this, which is 7.7% alcohol. It's got real flavor right here.
Does anyone want to answer the question? If you can live anywhere, where would you live? Haynes has this question.
Who wants to go first?
I'll start. Right where I am. Vancouver is seriously one of the best places to live in the world. So I'm not going to complain. I love it here. Second is LA, but I do have a place in LA as well. So there we go.
LA all day. Give me a holler when you come to LA. We'll make some content.
So fun, yes. But right now I'm kind of stuck in Canada because I'm Canadian. I can't cross the border.
Yeah, it's closed.
But I mean, whenever they open, I'm heading back down. So that'll be dope.
So my favorite place to live, out of every single place, I think I just want to live everywhere, honestly. I just want to keep on going and explore the world. I don't know where I want to live because I've been to 48 countries, but I still want to go and travel more, and I don't want to stop. And if I had to choose a place right now to make a home base for most of the time, it might be between Vietnam, Thailand, possibly. I'm not sure.
Wow.
Yes.
Just because the food is amazing in both places, and it's just such a fun atmosphere with motorbikes running around, and it makes me feel alive again when I'm in these places. The heat, the spicy food, the green curry, the tom kha kai, just everything is amazing. I mean, so yeah, I love traveling is my thing. So I mean, I wouldn't want to stay there necessarily, but if I had to pick a place to stay for a very long time, it would probably be between Thailand and Vietnam. Just not sure though which one. What about you, Jeremy? Where would you go?
Ooh, for me, I mean, I really loved living in Taiwan. The people are so friendly. The food's amazing. The beaches, the nature, it's safe. It's cheap. Everything. Vietnam is incredible. The people as well. It's cheap. The food, everything, the culture. Los Angeles, I really like because there's literally it's so multicultural. Like you can go to Thai town, you can go to Koreatown, you can go to little Ethiopia, you could go to literally every type, or little Armenia. You can go. It's basically every country in one in Los Angeles, which is so I really really like that. And also I like in Europe, I would say Spain, because it has that community feel. Like people are so warm. The food's really good. They have beaches, they have everything, and it's just a really it's cheaper too as well, so it's very livable. So those would be my top, I think.
What about you, Jeff? What is your go-to kind of place to live?
And Vancouver, Jeenie, don't worry, I got you.
Yeah, it's no. I respect all those places, and for me, I always say like, okay, what brought me to like peace? And when I think about the place where I would go to and it brings me to peace, it's Croatia. That sounds so crazy, right? But it's like I was there in the Adriatic. We had good wine, good food. The pace of life was slowed down a lot, and for me, that's what life is all about. In terms of, look, I live a fast-paced life. I'm all over the place. And when I got there, it was just a dream come true. I was just like, man, this is like fresh caught fish that, from off the Adriatic, the wine, the vineyards were just up the road. You're drinking fresh everything. You're eating fresh everything. And life was good. And that's what it's all about for me. So I would say Croatia, guys.
Hey, Jeff, Croatia's open right now, right?
Just
throwing it out there.
I think it closed down recently, but yeah, I knew it was one of the countries that was open to be able to travel to. So yeah, I was keeping my eye open because I should be in France right now making Armagnac, but unfortunately, due to the travel restrictions, I'm here in California still. So which again, can't complain, but would love to be in France right now.
What do you think about all those rockies and those high percentage alcohols, like 55% alcohols that are in Croatia and Yugoslavia, former territories? Like all those are so good. Some of them are made from peaches, some are from apricots, some are from plums, all kinds of fruits. They make these really high 55, 50, 60% alcohol level rockies. Is it rocky or is it called something else?
Look, in Croatia, rakia, and I always tell people it's just like food. When you start with just a natural, pure ingredient that's organic, it's going to taste better than something that's artificially processed or something that's processed. So for me, when I did obviously you guys, I don't know if you guys saw the video where I did where I made rakia it was plum brandy, and we're picking plums, from nature. There's nothing to it. It's just like, yep, try it, taste it. It's sweet. It's refreshing. You know what? And that's what's going to end up in the final product. You know what I mean? So it doesn't go through second, third order effects of like the whole process to the grocery store. It's like, hey, I'm taking it from this tree and I'm going to go ahead and distill it. And that is so much more better than what we're processed ingredients and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I remember that the whole marketing ploy of triple distilled, 5 times distilled, but like if you do it right the first time, I heard you don't need to do it a bunch of times.
Yeah, it's interesting because it depends on what you're trying to distill. Like when you got something so amazing like a fresh plum, that you picked from your own tree, yeah, you don't have to distill it as much. But I'll give you an example. Like think about the fires that are going on in California right now or in Australia. The grapes that they had were tainted with smoke. We can't use that for wine. So what do? We say, okay, let me distill that. So the first run you go through and you taste it, you're like, okay, there's a little bit. The second run, it strips all those impurities and you get that refreshing flavor from that actual grape. So distilling is such an amazing science to it. But you can do amazing things with the fruit that you have. And even if you take something like, like a fire, which you think your crop is ruined, you bring distilling into it, and you can actually save that product and actually make that salvageable and something that you can actually share with your friends, after you distill it, and celebrate with it over time.
Beautiful. Jeenie, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeremy.
Jeenie, I just followed you. I saw you actually have virtually traveling the world, and it's exactly what I'm doing. Collab is coming.
What voice do we have?
Yeah, check. I'm Jeremy Talks to Strangers, because I said I'm virtually talking to people around the world, and I've talked to over 100 people on Zoom. And then I started Join Team Human. So if you want to check us out, we have virtual Zoom calls. And Bert has come. We've had over 15 different countries represented. We should do a collaborative social.
That's very cool.
And I have I have a bunch of really cool questions that I ask, and I throw people in in breakout rooms, and we just kind of connect and try to make this world a little bbit smaller.
That's very cool.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun in those breakout rooms.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, we do. It's you have a little different levels of depthy questions, and we go from curious to brave to vulnerable. It's pretty powerful.
So, Jeenie Weenie, I think you have got to go pretty soon, correct? Are you free for another 5 more minutes?
I'm waiting because I need to buzz them in, and no one's buzzing.
Oh.
So.
Okay, great. Well, let's just keep on going until you got to go. That's great. And yeah, so anyways, I think we can start wrapping up our first live stream ever. We can maybe go for maybe 1 hour next week or something. I mean, we can rotate it too. We could do it every other week or something like that, but we can definitely just see how it goes and keep up, the topics around the world and bring in more people. Maybe 6 people next time will come in, and we'll just see how it goes. We could just 1 week you do it, 1 week you don't, and just kind of musical chairs with different creators and talking about the different drinks from around the world. I mean, and also the cultures and the life and the foods. So, I mean, that's what I kind of wanted to get to with this kind of live stream. Every week, different people and fun, energetic, good energy, But yeah, it's really so fun to have you guys. And so my name is Bert from the channel Food X Bert. If you're tuning in right now, I hope you guys check out my channel and subscribe. And let's go down to Jeenie Weenie. You can tell us about your TikTok.
My TikTok? Oh.
Or your YouTube channel too. Your YouTube and TikTok. Sorry.
Oh, I don't
whatever.
My YouTube channel right now. I'm kind of embarrassed about it. So everyone's like, "Can you please post something?" I'm like, "I'm trying, but TikTok makes it easy because they give you all of what is it?
Templates.
Yeah, the templates, right? So it takes me nowadays I'm putting a little bit more effort because I feel like I need to. But before, I would only take maybe 5-10 minutes to do a TikTok. Whereas I did an intro YouTube video of me just saying, "Hi, I'm Jeenie," right? And that took me 1 day of filming and 8 hours of editing, and it's so bad. And I was just like, oh my God. So I know practice makes perfect. That's the same with TikToks, right? In the beginning, it was very bad, and I figure it out eventually. So I'll get to my YouTube, but TikTok wise, yeah, it's just been such a blast. I'm having so much fun, and I think that's the key thing. If anyone wants to start creating on TikTok, is that you have to be you. It's not like Instagram where you have all these filters and you can change and who you are. That it doesn't work that way. You have to bring your own vibe and just have a lot of fun on it. Because if you don't, everyone's gonna know,
Yes. Jeenie, that reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. As long as you're being authentic, you are never failing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I honestly, at the beginning, I never did it for the followers. I did it because it was I was in quarantine, I was bored, and 2, it was so funny. I would just laugh at myself, and I know a lot of TikTokers, they would do the same thing. They would just rewatch their own TikTok and just laugh and cry, and who cares? And then people do love it, great, right?
And I love the fact that you did it for yourself first, and anything is kind of a bonus. Did I get that correctly?
That's pretty much great. If you guys actually go through the beginning ones, it's just wild. I've been doing stupid things, and my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And buzz around the house. I'll be on top of the tables, stupid dances. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't
Jeenie, Jeenie, what's funny, interesting, like, what you don't realize is, like, you are in your state of play, and they've actually done multiple, like, they've done so much research on, like, having play in your life. Like, I had a guy in my podcast, and he did a TEDx on, like, putting more play in your life. And do you know how many connections it takes how many reps of, like, to learn something, the synapse in your brain for you to to learn something new when you're not in a state of play?
No
420. When you are in a state of play, guess how many reps it takes to learn something new for a synapse to make that connection.
If you're
in a state of play.
So if you're not, it's 400?
If you're not, it's 420 reps. And if you are in a state of play, it's 15 to 20.
That's it?
That's it. And on top of that, it's really good for your mental cognition. It's really good for your creative. It's really good for stress. It's really good for anxiety. So that's so amazing.
Oh,
so I want to honor you for doing those videos.
Yeah, I'm drinking this nice stone beer.
That actually looks
a good one.
I do want to try that.
Yeah, you can probably find it. You can find it in Canada, I'm sure. It's a really big brewery, Stone Brewery, and this is a summer IPA. It's really, really good. But yeah, I mean, it's 7.7% alcohol, so you just need 1 or 2, and you're good for sure.
Amazing.
But yeah, and like, Jeff, what is your favorite drink of all time? Like, what is your favorite, like, ultimate drink?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's free and cold. So I mean, bottom line, guys. I mean, wherever I travel to, I'm like, you know what? Somebody gives me a free drink, I'm like, yep, favorite. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
It doesn't matter where I go to. So I always tell people that it's my favorite drink is free. So I keep getting amazed at everywhere I go. I'm like, when I'm in Mexico and I'm trying tequila, and then I go to mezcal, and then all of a sudden I'm handed another agave spirit called Sotol, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've never tried that before, and it's actually better than both of those, right? So that's what's great about what I'm doing. I'm I'm learning. So I'm always enjoying, like, the craft, but more importantly, learn what cultures are bringing to the table in terms of, booze, because it circulates around celebration, mourning. And I learned that each culture has their form of alcohol that they do one or the other with. So there's so much more that I have to explore. But yeah, I mean, I just keep getting educated. And even if I say right now, like, this is my favorite, like 2 months from now or even a week from now, I'm just like, yep, that totally changed. So
yeah, what are you drinking right now, Jeff? I was just curious. What's the drink of choice tonight?
Yeah, so interesting. So I'm getting ready to film an episode in the Central Coast of California about what it means to be organic, biodynamic, and sustainable, right? We see it in foods. So, and I see a markup when I'm in the I'm going through the aisles and I'm seeing wine, and I'm like, all right, why am I going to pay a couple more dollars for, organic? And that's what I raised the question to. I'm like, why, I want to learn more about that. So I'm drinking a Pinot Noir from the Central Coast of California, because I'm getting ready to head up there and tell the story about organic wines, and they grow some really nice Pinot up there. So I'm
nice.
That's what I'm drinking right now. I'm getting a little bit educated, and so yeah, that's what I'm drinking right now.
I got to give a shout out right now to my friend Brian from the Philippines. He's got a channel called Philly in the Philippines, and he's been doing it for about 3 years now. He just goes around showing what it's like in Angeles City, and I did a collaboration at a abandoned hospital in Clark Air Force Base. It was a lot of fun, and he took me around and showed me around. Clark. Yeah, you know Clark, yeah?
Oh,
yeah.
That doesn't sound like...
I flew from Clark to Palawan.
Palawan, nice. And then this is another friend of mine, Jordan. He does videos on kind of helping kids in the Philippines and families in the Philippines. He tries to donate money. His channel is this right here, Jordan Melby Vlogs, and he's a really nice guy, and definitely check him out too.
Salamat po, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, he's in Washington State right now, but he is going to be going back to the Philippines soon, I think. But yeah, it's so fun to have them in the house today watching this with us. And yeah, and you guys.
I'm actually going to Philly in 2 weeks. If your friend from Philly knows anybody.
Oh, he hasn't been back there in 2 years, I think. But yeah, maybe you should hit him up on Facebook. I think he uses. Well, yeah, I think we can wrap this up, you guys. Let's do our outros kind of like maybe in the future I'll have like a playback of like a clip from Jeff's videos and a clip from Jeenie Weenie's videos and my video, so we can just like, you know, have a little clip because we can add little clips to this live stream. But yeah,
let me take a screenshot, everybody. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I want to post it.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And like, we're going to make this better every week. We'll add some kind of segments and maybe even add little clips of like the history of that drink or something like that. I mean, Jeff knows everything, not everything, a lot about these drinks that he's researched for his show, which I just think Jeff's show is pretty awesome. And I've been
also another idea. If you're open to it, there's a feature on this where we can actually like all hang out and like watch one of our new videos. So like Jeenie Weenie has a new video, we can watch it. If Jeff has a new video, if you have a new video, we can watch it and kind of comment and talk about it.
Yeah, we can do something like that. But yeah,
how cool would that be?
I think it's so. Yeah,
I think Bert, I think it's cool because, you know, like a lot of times, you know, we're so focused, like me, I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I don't know what everybody else is doing in the world. So for you to bring, Jeremy and Jeenie into this, like I didn't really understand what they're doing. And now I do. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why didn't I see them before that? And they're doing amazing things. So this is what it's all about. And I appreciate what you're doing. And I think it's super cool to bring everybody together because everybody has their own story, right?
Definitely.
And, you know, we have our own experiences and we can share those experiences, whether it's travel to alcohol to, you know, Jeremy talking to strangers. I mean, so for me, like it's what you just did right now for me is truly amazing. And I'm going to go check out, you know, Jeannie's, you know, what she's doing, Jeremy, what you're doing. And thank you, Bert, so much for reading this.
And definitely, Jeff, you got to get on TikTok because you can just upload a video like straight from your phone, like about tequila, make it only 1 minute long and you can upload that. You don't even have to edit much. You just make it into a 1 minute video, which just cut it, make part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I'll show you what I did. Like with my channel videos, with my original TikTok videos. Now I'm doing something a little bit more political because this month is a political time, but normally I'm not political. I'm just doing food videos and talking about traveling and, you know, fun things. You know, I like to do fun things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And yeah, so I'm just I'm really happy to have you guys join me today and join us together as a group. I mean, it's just fun. Yeah. And I was just telling Jeenie Weenie that Jeff needs to join TikTok and get his videos on TikTok.
I do.
Yeah,
it's so easy, Jeff. Come on. It's so easy. If you said you're on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Instagram. I gotta get following. I got a pretty good following over there.
Come on.
Children, babies are doing TikTok. Okay.
You just inspired me.
It's so fun, super easy. Honestly, do it like 50 seconds, and yeah, it's a learning platform. They do a lot of like learn on TikTok kind of things. So especially for you, you can teach a lot to a lot of people, and I'm sure you have a vast amount of knowledge in there. 15 seconds is all it takes. Just make it short, simple, cool tips.
Ooh,
that's it.
I like that.
I would
love to do like I would love to do self-improvement like in a humorous way, like a fun, humorous way.
You could, and it might blow up. You never know.
Sure.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get on TikTok, get everything organized, and then I'm gonna hit up Jeenie and then
Jeenie, I need your help.
You know, next time we get back together, we're going to talk about, hey, how has she taught me how to build up a TikTok account?
Yeah.
And then we'll critique it. We'll show it on here, and we'll critique your first TikTok.
We'll watch it together. Like, what were you feeling when you were making this? What happened? Yes.
I love it, guys. I love it.
Cool, you guys. Well, I guess we'll just say bye to everybody. But actually, first, Jeff, you talk about your channel, and Jeenie Weenie, talk about your channel one more time. And Jeremy Talks to Strangers, you talk about it, and I'll talk about mine last, and then we'll say bye to everyone, because that's how we do it. We make sure that everybody knows our channels and knows what we do, how we roll. So, Jeff, you go first.
Thanks. Yeah. So you guys can follow the journey on YouTube, which is Beer, Wine, and Spirits. And you can go to Instagram, where I have beer_wine_spirits. Facebook, it's the same thing. Jeff Bradford, Beer, Wine, and Spirits. TikTok, wait for it. I'll get that loaded. Jeenie you guys just fired me up to create that. So I'll get that thing started and get that thing going. But yeah, those are the three main platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube that I've been, highlighting as of late. So
we should make our first TikTok right now, right?
Yeah,
ready?
We can make it now. And Jeenie Weenie, let's talk about your channel, and then we'll go to Jeremy, and then we'll. Yeah.
Sure. So you guys can find me on TikTok and Instagram, same handle, Jeenie.Weenie. For YouTube, it's Jeenie Weenie 11. You can't change it, or I just don't know how to change it. So that's that. But yeah, I pretty much cover all things and travel. So if you're interested in learning, or even if you want to learn how to use TikTok, I do a lot of collaborations with people, and really I know a lot of creators concentrate on collabing with people who have like millions of followers, and I'm not like that. I do, of course, because I like to learn and things like that, but even if you have no followers, it's all good. So I have a lot of people just hitting me up, and we work together on and just having fun. So that's what I'm all about.
That's great. And Jeremy Talks to Strangers, what about you?
I love how Jeenie Weenie said that, and I wanted to bring a point, don't put anyone on the pedestal. We're all the same. And for me, mine is Jeremy Talks to Strangers. That's where I do my mental health podcast, and I do self-improvement stuff, and I talk to strangers around the world. And then if you want to join a global community that I started or co-started, it's Join Team Human, and we have weekly Zoom calls where we connect and get support, and it just started, and it's blowing up in a beautiful way. So you can check that out and send me a message and get you included on the next Zoom call. And we do a lot of collaborations actually with some really cool influencers, and I love it. I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest.
Cool. And then I'm going to be the last one. Thank you guys so much for watching. And
Bert! Yeah, Bert!
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys check out my YouTube channel. It's called Food X Bert. I travel the world and try to show you guys different foods and drinks and things that you can do while you travel and you explore the world. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, only 60 or 70 away from 10K. So I'm super excited to get there. Please subscribe to my channel.
Who wants a hug?
I'll take a hug. I'll take a hug. This is the perfect lens for the hug right here.
Maybe give me a hug, Jeremy. That is the Free Hugs t-shirt.
Yes, it is.
Maybe give me a hug. I might have. Give me a hug in Vancouver.
That's amazing.
I feel like it's you.
Yes, I actually ended up staying with someone I gave a free hug to. They're like, you can stay with me if you want. I was like, whoa, that's nice of you. And I did it. I was like a challenge.
That's so funny. That's such a small world, because, I mean, Vancouver's like a big, small town. But
Vancouver's amazing. The people are amazing. The food, everything. Except for the winter is not the best. However, it's beautiful.
Okay, you guys, so we're going to say bye to everybody, and I'm going to just stop the stream. We can stay here if you want, but yeah, we're going to stop the stream. Bye-bye, everybody. I'm going to press the button to say bye, but we'll be back next week. We'll be back next week with another stream, and we'll try to bring in more people. See you guys.